Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations, the podcast. And before we get started today, I just want to say, give a big thank you to all our supporters, everyone that has supported the show, all our subscribers, everybody that liked, shared, and comment on any episode that we've ever produced. So I just want to give a big thank you to you guys. But today we have another guest, and today's guest is somebody that's in the music industry and been having a lot of success in the music industry. So we figured we'll shine some light on that person today. So today we will break down the stories and the sounds of today's biggest talent. Our guest today is a true lyricist and a rising star in the rap game. He's known for his raw authenticity and an undeniable flow. He's been taking the scene by storm with his tracks that hit hard both lyrically and sonically. From the streets to the stage, he's been spitting bars that reflect real life struggles, triumphs, and everything in between. We're about to dive into his career process, the journey behind the music, and what's next for this unstoppable force in hip hop. Without further ado, help me welcome the one and only Hef Banks. Banks, what's up, baby?
What's going on? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. All right. Today we wanted to shine a little light on you just to see your process, um, your unique style of music. So we just kind of want to shed some light on that, and we want to hear your perspective about you how you create your sound. Okay, that's fair.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
But before we get started, we know today is Sunday. Today is Super Bowl Sunday. Real quick, who you got?
I'm going Eagles.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I figured the Eagles will pull this one
Yeah,
out. Okay, but
yeah, man. Hopefully,
well, you know what they're saying about the rest with Kansas City, but I'm figuring the Eagles. I'm figuring the Eagles
yeah.
in with with three. I give the Eagles a win +3. I figure them to win by 3.
Facts. No more than the field goal for sure. I think it's gonna be a close game. Real,
Right, it's
real
gonna
good
be a
game.
good one. It's definitely gonna be a good one. Okay, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. First question I have for you is I
All right,
want to
let's do it.
know what moment in your life made you realize you had to create music in your own unique way.
Uh, well, Chief Keef started blowing up around like 2012, something like that, 2011, something like that. If
Okay,
I'm not mistaken, it might have been a little earlier. I always tried to make music opposite of what was popular.
okay,
So a lot of people, like would tell me early on, and like in my early stages of doing music, like you need to sound like this, well, you need to sound like that, so you can get heard. But I always felt like being different is what stood out the most.
okay.
So that's the approach that I take to making music, just doing what I feel and just being different and not sound like nobody else in no way.
Right. Well, you definitely don't sound like nobody else. That's for sure. When I listen to your music, it's kind of like a laid back flow. It's kind of like a laid back,
Facts.
slow flow. That way people can hear the wordplay. That's my take on it.
Facts.
I mean, would that be
That's
accurate?
facts.
Okay.
100%. 100%. I like for the vibes, just like mood music in a sense. And the way I approach it, like I said, is to make you bounce and move, but also relax at the same time. Like it's just a vibe.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you ever feel that your flow is misunderstood? And if you do, does that frustrate you at all?
Nah, like it's like okay, so just being honest with you, The one thing I used to feel like, well, I used to feel like I was getting overlooked a lot.
Okay.
But then that's when I started doing like research on like, networking and branding. And I realized, or all the like bosses of today would say like, it took years to build a brand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then once their brand was built, or like it's a certain aura around the brand, that's when everything was like a domino effect.
Okay.
And like I'm kind of starting to see that right now. So like I like streams is going up. I'm getting more offers for shows. I'm doing paid shows now.
Okay.
Like things of that nature. So no, I don't feel like I'm being like I'm overlooked or misunderstood. I just feel like when it's your time, it's your time.
Absolutely. You're right. You're definitely right about that because it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. How long have you been in the
Fact.
music industry thus far?
I've been rapping for about 10 years,
Okay.
and
So that's the due process that I was talking
to the
about. It
people who
just take
watching this,
time.
like, yeah. So and like to the people who watching, you know, don't ever be afraid or don't ever feel bad to speak on your process because like stuff happens for people at different times, and
Right.
I truly feel like if I would have made it or have had the success that I'm having now, back then I would have known how to handle it
Okay.
or capitalize off networking or so on and so forth. So everything is gonna happen for you when it's supposed to. Just don't rush your
Absolutely.
process.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. With that being said, let me say this: if your music could speak or spark a cultural shift, what you think that you want that shift to be?
Just to have fun. Like when my music come on, like you can play it in multiple settings. Like you could play it if you partake in smoking, smoking session or vibes or kickbacks or I want like good, just a good overall feeling when my music come on in the room,
Right.
in any room.
Okay.
I love to make the room move, and with my flow and the beats that I use and the way I combine lyrics and things like that, I feel like just a great combination of that.
Okay.
So I call my music soul music. Like that's what like I would like brand it as. Like music. Like I said, you can. It's like riding a wave in a sense.
Okay. Right. 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 I get you. Okay. Well, that's not a bad way. That's not a bad way to look at it. That's for sure. Not a bad way to look at it.
For sure.
Um, have you ever had to choose between artistic integrity and commercial success? And if you did, how did you have to navigate that?
Nah, I really don't. I got my formula to making music, and I truly feel like being authentic is gonna get you where you want to go.
Right.
So I just take that approach with making music.
Okay.
I found my niche. Uh, I found the type of tracks, or I'm intertwined with the type of producers that make the music that make the beats for my type of style of music.
Okay.
It's more than one, and I'm thankful for all those guys. Shout out to all of those guys. And nah, so like me personally, I can't even rap on the beat if I don't feel it.
Okay.
So nah, I never do that
Well, speaking of beats and producers and things of that nature, I want to say rest in peace to Irv Gotti. Let me ask you something. This a little off course. Um, the thing with
Okay.
50 and Irv Gotti, how do you feel about that? Do you think 50 went overboard for doing what he did when they heard about the passing of Irv Gotti?
Um, it's multiple ways to look at this.
Okay.
The easiest thing to say would be like like nah, like to not agree with what 50 did. But also, I don't know how true this is, but I've read things that said I think Irv Gotti knew like some of the people who tried to kill 50 Cent.
Right. Right.
So like if it's when you come from the streets, don't like we all know 50 Cent come from the streets. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, they play by different rules. Even though he is
Absolutely.
like a business and mogul now, he still come from the streets. So you know, like you got to take it, you know, take it with a grain of salt.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, like just being outside looking in, you know, he couldn't have said nothing, but like you know, when life is threatened or you know almost taken away, and you know you got people who rock with that, then you know sometimes the gloves may be off.
Right. Right. I agree with you. I feel the same way about that.
So,
I definitely feel the same way. Okay. I just wanted to get your
so,
perspective on that since we was talking producers and things like that. And I know it's you know, Irv just
so,
passed away. So I just wanted to get your perspective.
right.
Um,
Okay, no problem. Bro.
what's one risk you took in the music that you have completely gone? Let me rephrase this. What's one risk you took in your music that could have gone completely wrong, but ended up defining your sound?
Uh, okay. So when I first started music, right, doing like I was doing music with my friends,
Okay.
and at this particular time, like one of the guys, he recorded everybody, like he made all our beats. He recorded us. He mixed all our music, you know. And then one day he was just like he stopped, you know. He like no reason, no questions behind it, like no statements behind it. He like literally just stopped, and I'm like, damn, like what am I gonna do? So I just took it upon myself to learn how to do everything.
Okay.
And what I realized is like some people don't they don't do that all the way. And what I mean by that is they don't take the time to fully learn how to do everything surrounding their craft to be more resourceful, to become more resourceful or more useful. And
Right.
that's one of the major leaps that I took. So I record myself, I mix myself. If I need to, I can produce my own beats. I do my own videos as well now,
Okay.
photos as well. So just putting everything in my hand and then learning that I'm not competing with people who I know I'm competing with, labels and stuff like that. So I just took the time out to try to learn everything I possibly could to make my quality match industry standards.
Okay.
And like that's a risk within itself because you know sometimes that takes away from the artistry, takes away from the network, and it takes away from the brand and the working towards your brand and things of that nature. But I just found a way to you know keep combining them all and keep using them all together to make it to push what I'm trying to do forward.
Right. Okay.
So like that was a very big leap for me.
Right. Well, that's a good process to have, you know, because you're keeping everything in house. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with keeping everything in house.
Facts.
You build a brand, you build your team up, and not only do you become successful and be able to ride that wave, but your team as well. Now, I've heard
Facts. And
word
you
on
know
the street.
what? I just
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I just want to say like just piggyback off what you were saying about building your own brand and your team. Um, a long time ago, somebody told me that you don't choose your team like your team choose you,
Right.
and I never understood that until it started happening. So just what I mean by that is like you know initially, like I told you, I do mix myself and record myself, but recently I have an engineer now. You know what I'm saying? A personal engineer, and he actually does the sound design for the Chicago Bears. So shout out to JT. You know, just want to show my boy some love. You know, like man, thank you for believing in me.
Right.
Shout out to you, bro, for sure.
And you said his name was what was his name?
JTE,
JTE.
JTE mixed it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's give a shout
JTE
out to
mixed it.
JTE mixing then. Okay. Now, how do you measure success? Do you measure it by numbers, impact, or is it something deeper?
I think it's a combination of everything. So not everything, but numbers and impact.
Okay.
So like for instance, right, I'm a big analytical statistic guy. So I like paying attention to like how quickly numbers jump, and things of that nature. So success to me is just like doing better than you was yesterday.
Right.
So and the only thing that will allow you to become successful is by being consistent. And like I said, those two things go hand in hand. So I've been doing music for about 10 years. You know what I'm saying? But last year was my only consistent year out of me doing music my entire 10 years. Because I told you, like, I would take time out to learn things, you know, to learn how to do things and things of that nature. So like this 10th year, I put everything I've learned over the last 9 years together, and I just like stack days consistently with content, music, inside moves, outside moves, networking, branding, like, putting it all together and, doing it at a high level.
Right.
And what I've seen and noticed is like I don't have to work as hard for likes. Like I start noticing like my stories or like when I post, I'm averaging like okay these many likes, and when I go back and think about last January or last August or last September, I'm seeing the growth in everything. So that's how I measure success. Like it's not success is not what you're doing. It's like it's not everything at the end, but it's about everything you're doing in between the build. Success is a stepping stone as well.
Right.
And like I said, as long as you be consistent, you will damn sure be successful.
Right. Right. Okay. My mom in the chat, she told me, she says, keep grinding. She said, you definitely got this.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay. Moving on. Let me ask you this, because we know in the
What
music industry,
can I?
it's a
Can I
lot of. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You had something to say?
no, I just want to say to your mom, because that is my aunt. Thank you, and I love you, and I appreciate you.
Okay. All
So
right.
I just want to give her flowers to show her love.
I know that's right. Let me ask you this.
Right, that's my.
Now, we know in the music industry, if someone that's in your community or someone that you know have made it, and artists, new up and coming artists, like to duplicate or try to sound like another artist, right? If someone
Right.
tried to replicate your style and your sound, what do you think they'll miss?
Um, my voice, that's big in my style. And like that's what I get a lot of compliments on,
Right.
like my voice. So my tone, the way I rap, that'd be hard to duplicate for sure.
Okay.
Uh, a lot of people say that's unique. And to be honest with you, it seemed like even lately, like when I go out of town and network and shit like that, and when like other engineers or matter of fact, shout out to my boy Zuma from Empire. That's one of the reasons we got close. He said he liked my voice box, my vox, and it sound good, like over certain beats and certain vibes.
Right.
So that'll be the biggest thing that it'll be. Yeah, it'll be hard to replicate
Everyone.
my voice
Right.
in the way I
Well,
use my voice on records.
if I was asked, if someone asked me to describe your sound, you know, I would say the only way you're going to be able to get that sound is go lay down, go get in the bed, go lay down on the floor somewhere, and and just wake up and start putting raps together, because that's the vibe I get when I listen to you. It sound like it sound like you just woke up. Um, it's
Hey,
like you don't put a lot of
that's
I ain't gonna
hilarious.
say it. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of thought process. I'm gonna say it's like, man, it's kind of hard to describe. But the best way I can describe it is, to
Thanks.
me, it sounds like you just woke up. It's just, it
That's
just
hilarious.
flow. You know what I'm saying? It just flow. The wordplay is there. You know what I'm saying? Everything is there, but it's just
I appreciate it.
the way you produce it, and that's your unique sound. That's what makes you different from everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's not a bad thing. It's not a knock. You know, it's working for you because you
Oh, for
have to
sure.
separate yourself from
Hey,
everybody else. Go ahead.
like what's crazy is out of all the interviews I ever done, you the only one who caught on to that. You know what I'm saying? And just I'm gonna just let the cat out the bag. Sometimes on certain records to get that sound, I do that. I'll go lay down on purpose, and as soon as I wake up, I know I'm about to record. So like
And
that's
that's
for
what
sure how
I
I
can
get that
hear it.
tone sometimes.
I can hear that. And that's what it sounds like. To me, it sounds like you
Yeah, that's crazy.
the only way somebody's gonna duplicate that particular sound, you know, you have to it's like you have to lay down to get that sound. You know, other than that, you're not going to get
Yeah,
that type of sound. That's just my take on it. That's from every song I've ever heard of yours. For every time I hear you rap, it's like, did this nigga just wake up? It sounds like he's sleeping. You know what I'm saying? But like I
that's
say,
hilarious.
it works for you.
That's
You know what I'm
hilarious.
saying? It works. And so
Right.
just keep being unique. Keep being unique, man. Keep being yourself, and just keep pushing, putting out them hits. You know, eventually something is going to pop. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
facts.
Let me ask you this: does being different in this industry feel more like a responsibility or a burden?
You know, um, that's a tough question to answer. And that's because I can't answer like for everybody. Like I don't know what everybody else thinking. You know, I will say this. I watched a guy in the music industry. He go by the name of Lil Russell,
Okay,
and like he don't dress the best. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't show the most money. Like he don't do a lot of stuff. Like that the typical rapper would do.
right,
But like he shows you how to be authentic, and like I truly feel like that get you through any door in the world just by being yourself and being authentic. You know, I like when I hear stuff and like I don't initially know how to move to it. If that makes sense.
okay,
Like that's what catches me. So like that's the element I try to bring to my music, which is why I sound the way I sound when I record. And also put the bars in there. With the with the aura of the music. Like I said, just to give you a whole different sound altogether.
right, right.
Because a lot of times we are rapping about the same thing, but it's just how you make it sound
How you put it together? That's
that
right,
makes it go.
right,
And
absolutely,
so, right. And so, I feel like just being authentic, man. Be yourself, and that'll get you further than anything,
absolutely,
no matter
absolutely,
what the outside world is saying.
right.
Looking to boost your brand? Advertise with Situations, the podcast where real life stories meet real time conversations. Reach engaged listeners and grow your business today.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Do you believe?
Okay.
Let me see. How do I want to word this? Okay, let me ask you this. Do you believe authenticity in music is being lost, or are we just looking in the
Yeah.
wrong places?
Oh, yeah. Now that, yeah, for sure. Just looking in the wrong places. You know,
Okay.
I one thing started doing was I started my own concert series last year.
Okay. Tell us
And
about that.
it was the whole reason for starting the concert. Yeah, it's called the Vibe Check. I do it every monthly, and what I do is, I just look for artists who I like. I like what they doing. That's
Okay.
on their own wave. That's not sounding like people out here. Just to get back to your question, no, there is artists out here that just getting overlooked, and it might be because like the following, their numbers aren't high. things of that nature, or like the problem, or what I see a lot is artists just don't know how to brand themselves.
Right.
Like they don't know how to make themselves appeal to a mass audience.
Right.
And, like that's a skill within itself. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some artists who aren't half as good as others that's doing way better because they understand that aspect. So it's a lot of factors, within this music shit that play a role into people's success or them being overlooked, or whatever the case may be. And what I also see is a lot of people like versus putting in the work, putting their head down and just working and going after whatever
Right.
goal that they setting for themselves. They do a lot of complaining. Like I see people complain like and say like they only doing this because they popular. Well, shit, go and get popular then, and you'll
Right.
get the
Absolutely.
same. You know what I'm saying? You'll get the
Right.
same reaction or the same support. Like shit ain't hard. It's just all about what you're willing to give to it.
Right. Right. Let's talk a little bit about this concert series for artists that may be tuning in or
Okay.
maybe tuning in later. How can they be a part of something of this magnitude? What is it that they have to do for them to be seen and to also be able to grace this stage?
Okay. So my number one thing is support. Like this is like a support based show. And like what I've been trying to do is create community within Chicago. And also just create my own wave and lane that shows a city of artists supporting what each other does.
Okay.
And so what my vibe check has done is like it's brought people together. It's brought artists together who never thought they would know each other or work with each other. You know, brought them together, and I see artists like that has met at my vibe check. Now they doing whole projects together, like they moving around together, like like they pushing each other forward. And everybody who graces the stage, like I said, it's just me showing love and creating community and helping get everybody's name out there at the same time.
Okay.
So I created a vibe check playlist, and what I do with that is like every vibe check. If you performed on the past vibe check, I go look through your music personally and select my favorite song from your catalog, add it to the playlist, and then while I'm setting up for the show, or I let the playlist run. So even if you're not there, you still there in spirit, or you people are getting a chance to hear your music.
Right. Right.
So like I said, it's like it's just a support based thing, and that's the only way you can really be a part of it. Like you can't pay me to be on it, none of that. Support only,
Okay.
because I
Okay.
love to see a room full of people, artists, support each other. And like I said, when you know how to brand things, I'm making it worth the artist's while as well. Like I got the 290 Mo podcast. He interviews the artists before they perform, and he shoots video footage. Get a video of them performing. I got the Cold Hard Facts podcast. They there as well.
Okay.
They doing artist interviews, music reviews as well. I got the No Insurance podcast. They doing the same thing. Artist interviews. Um, music reviews and things of that nature as well. And the Joe Show, that's a new podcast that pulled up last night. They on 106.3, or like some of the people from their podcast like do hosting on 106.3. So Fusion Radio, RIP to Brian Stinson. Shout out to YTS Keys. Like they come through and show love to the artists as well. So like that's what I'm doing. Like I'm basically like using my connections and the things that I've worked hard and relationships that I work hard to build. I'm using those to help other artists get looks. And like that's what the vibe check is about, because their vibe is being checked by podcasts and other people. Different. They got different names and do different things.
Okay. Okay. I get you. Okay. Well, with that being said, you know, um, what you're bringing artists together in such a way, from my understanding, you're doing some management now. So tell me a little bit about that.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you
was
still okay? You're no longer doing it.
okay. So I was doing. Yeah, no longer doing management. So
Okay.
I was managing this group called the Duo,
Okay.
and they asked me to manage them or whatever. And so I was taking them around with me, and things of that nature. But I was trying to like really lock it in on the business aspect, and that's something that they wasn't willing to do. So
Okay.
I'm not in the business of being used, and I'm not trying to use anybody. I was just it's a lot that they don't know,
All
and it
right.
was a lot that I was just trying to help them understand, and basically like they really like wasn't comprehending, and I'm just so I'm no longer managing them, but best wishes to them for sure. And I hope them guys. I hope they get everything that they're looking for out of the music. They are a dope group, but need guidance for sure. And like I said, I was just trying to be the one to guide them in the right direction to help them not bump their head in all the places that I bumped my head in at.
Right.
And unfortunately, it didn't work out. But like I said, best wishes to those guys.
Okay. For artists that may be tuning in or tuned in later, what was the issue that they wasn't understanding? What part of it did they not understand the process? Did they not understand the paperwork? Did they not understand the percentage? What
Uh,
what was it that they was lacking?
so it really wasn't clear. On their end. It just seemed, just being honest with you, it just seemed like they wanted. Um, I'm trying to be professional here when I'm speaking on the manner, you know,
I mean, well,
but
just say it like it
it
is.
just
You know what I'm
seemed like
saying?
they want. Oh, okay, all right, for sure. But I'm trying to like when I say I'm trying to be professional about the manner. It's like I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but sometimes the truth is throwing people under the bus. So you right. So
The truth is
with
the
that being
truth.
said,
Right.
it just seemed, yeah, for sure. It just seemed like they were trying to use me for my connections, and not really be a part of what I was trying to build and then like the everything that I was trying to lay out for them.
Okay.
So just found that weird. And I'm not trying to use anybody, and I make it very clear before I deal with anybody. I say, listen, and I tell everybody this who I'm networking with or talking to. If you don't want to really lock it in, you can just tell me that, and we can make it a strictly business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tell everybody that, before I deal with anybody, because I tell them like, listen, I'm only doing what I'm doing out of the kindness of my heart. And just to be honest, I did bring up paperwork and I did bring up a percentage with them. But even with that, I was willing to split my percentage with the father of the group,
Okay.
who was also acting as the manager, but don't know or have the idea on half of the stuff that I know.
Right.
So
Right.
like, and I did that to show them like, listen, I'm willing to split my percentage with somebody who's not helping y'all do anything that I can, or not. I won't say that. I'm willing to split my percentage with someone who can't help y'all do the things that I can. So
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the only way I can give it to them. And like I said, they wasn't willing to do that. And like I said, I'm not in the business of being used because my heart is too big. And I tell you coming through the door, listen, if this is what you own, we can just handle it this way. So no parties that have to feel no type of way once everything is done. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And they chose to go about it their way, and they're no longer here. Best wishes
Okay.
to them though.
Okay. Well, I mean, sometimes it be that way. Sometimes, um, they have to
Yeah,
learn the hard way. And at some point they're gonna wish they had a,
yeah, for sure.
you know, some at some point they're gonna wish they had a, uh, probably possibly locked it in, because once they see the moves and the things that you continue to growing with, yet you're growing with, now they not a part of that anymore. So it eventually set in. You did the right
Right.
thing. You did the right thing. You got to follow your first
Yeah, for
mind.
sure, for sure. And, yeah, for sure. And I have a group now. Like I'm not managing, but like what I did was like I figured out my end goal in the music, industry. Like I want my own label.
Okay.
So I have a team of guys around me that also does music. And like I said, I'm we bouncing ideas off each other and we making this shit work and we pushing it forward. So shout out to the swim team. Those are all my guys. And like I said, we all, work together cohesively. We share ideas, we share business models and plans. We network together. We do. We all go in when it's time to invest. We do things like that. So shout out to those guys. And the swim team is basically just a bunch of like-minded individuals.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say I'm managing that, but there's something I did start. Like I said, with and I got, like I said, I got a team of guys around me who also doing their thing that I want to help the world see as well.
Okay. Okay. Well, salute to that. Salute to that for sure.
You are now watching Situations, the podcast where nothing is off limits.
Um, what's a sound, instrument, or technique you've experienced that kind of changed the way you create?
Recording by myself.
Okay.
I used to always record like with my cousins. It'd be at least 4 or 5 of us in the studio, um, or it'd be like always it'd be like a studio full of people. But I'm at my best when I'm just by myself, and that's one of the reasons why I like recording myself because I'm big. Like I care about other people, man. So even though I know like I can go book some time, like I would never freestyle a song with an engineer recording me.
Right.
And that's just because I feel like everybody's time is valuable. So the least I can do is come in ready.
Come prepared.
But
Absolutely.
when I'm by myself, I don't feel like that. Me, you know what I'm saying? It's me
Right.
doing my thing. So I get a chance to be free with the way I record, and take as much time as I want to.
Right.
So like that's one of the biggest things that's really, like help elevate my sound is just me the mic and the booth.
Okay. Well, that's a good way to look at it. When you have more time to think about what it is that you want to say and how you want to say it. Versus being rushed into
Right,
something.
exactly.
Being rushed into something that you might want to end up changing down the line because it didn't come out. You didn't have enough time to actually prepare for it. So I definitely understand where you're coming from when you say that. Okay, well let's talk about
And
pushing some
like when it,
boundaries. You know, how do you navigate self doubt when pushing creative boundaries? It's kind of almost basically what we just
man,
touched on a little bit. But
yeah. So
how
like
do you deal with that?
just you know just by being consistent, and like one thing about me, right, is if I know, I don't care if I know, if no, I'm gonna just say if I know you, right, if I know you and I see that you're trying to do something, what the one thing about me is I'm a like just say for instance, like okay, I got a little homie, he do music or whatever, he send me his music to check it out, and I give him honest opinions every time.
Right.
um and what I did to get over self-doubt was just be consistent, like and I was like brutally honest with myself. Like I go back and listen to like the music that I did when I first started out, and it wasn't really good, like, and I know that, so I'm like, and I go and I now I listen to the music that I make now, and I listen to my music more than I listen to anything else now.
Okay.
Just because it's like I truly love what I'm doing, and once you get in that groove, the self doubt will leave. But you got to do it for yourself first.
Right.
Like I do it for me first, and then I let everybody else opinions, and everything else flood in. But if I don't like it first, then nobody else will never hear it. Like you will never hear me like, man, you like this, or you think I should put this out. Like, no, I'm not coming like that. I'm putting out everything that I love first,
But check
because
this
I do
out.
feel like it's somebody else out there who will love it as well.
But check this out. You know,
I'm here.
most
I'm with you.
hits that's actually created that you actually hear today from the major artists, these are songs they didn't like from the start, but it ended up being a hit.
That's true.
So don't ever throw
That's
away
true.
a
But
song that you put your all into, but you don't like it. it might turn around and be that one song that might break the bank. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So
But
it's
you
a
know,
lot
like
of
what's
songs.
crazy?
It's a lot of songs that's
Like
out here that's like that today. But when you interview that particular
for sure.
artist, they'd be like, I don't, I didn't like that song. I didn't like it. It wasn't. I wasn't feeling it, but it took off.
The difference between me and I say those artists is like I'm not even gonna lie. Like I work extra hard on everything every song that I do. It's not a song that I've put out that I've half-assed, or a song that I record that I half-assed. So like, I'm not one of them artists who record every day, all day.
Right.
Like I don't do that. Like
Right.
I try to aim for, like I said, consistency. So what I do is like for instance, my first time recording this year was like 2 days ago, and I pumped out like 3 songs maybe in a row, back to back to back.
Okay.
And like I said, everything that I do, or like when I start orchestrating it, like it's kind of like I do it in my head first.
Right.
So it's like, okay, if it don't come out sounding like this, then you know what I'm saying? But like for the most part, the way I record for accuracy. I don't try to do a million songs and maybe 500,000 gonna sound good. If I'm doing a million songs, I want all million to be to my standard.
Right.
So that's
Right.
the way I approach every song.
That's
So
understandable.
to me, I believe anything out of my catalog to be a hit.
Okay.
And you know, so like so me, and with me having that mentality, I try to put it all out. You see what I'm saying? So
I
like
got you.
last year, I probably dropped like 3 projects.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that it was everything that I just felt. I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling these right now. These 4, boom. Let's put them out and see what it do. You know, but I still know I got these 200 over here that I want to come out as well,
Right.
and they all coming out. Like I'm not holding on to no music
Okay. Well,
because I
I'm
believe
saying
in
what's
all of
up to Sheik. Sheik in the chat. What's going on, Sheik? We see you.
it. Yo, see what's going on.
So let me ask you this: if your music was a movie, what story would you want it to tell?
Damn, that's a great question.
Think about it for a
Uh,
minute. Because I want to pick your brain. I don't want to just give you some easy stuff to talk about. I want to kind of pick your brain. I want you to think about the questions that I'm asking you.
right. Okay. So my music was a story. What story would I want to tell?
If your music was a movie,
Um,
if your music was a movie, what story would you
movie.
want it to tell?
Uh, Damn. I would want my music to tell the story, the movie, the story. I guess I would want my music to tell. Or yeah, I think damn, this is a great question. I'm gonna just give it. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you, Ralph, for sure. So this is how I feel about my music and my music career now.
Okay.
I feel like early on I wasn't as good as I thought I was, and I had to like really learn and become a student of the game. So my movie, I would wanted to showcase all of that. Me thinking that I'm here, but me also realizing I wasn't where I thought I was. To me learning more, to me to showing like all of the hours that I put in, trying different recording techniques, trying different writing techniques. All the times that I spent, like I said, being a student of the game, watching other podcasts, watching other artist stories, being inspired by other artists' stories and things like that. And then just finding wanted to showcase me finding my way, me finding my niche, me realizing, and other people around me realizing that I'm actually getting good and can really do something with this music. And then I would love for it to show where I'm at now and to show like how it's starting to take off.
Right.
So I
Okay.
just would love for my story to just show my. I would love for my music to just show my story. Like and, basically from nothing to something in a sense.
Right. Right.
And
So
like I
so
would love
so
for the world to see that
from
because when I tell
rags
them,
to riches, basically.
in a sense, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, for sure,
Okay.
yeah, from rags to riches, for sure.
Right. That's how I would
And
sum it
like
up.
when
I would sum it up
when
that
I
way
say
for you.
riches, right, right, and when I say riches, it wouldn't necessarily mean like having all the money in the world, but it would necessarily mean having the knowledge that I need to be able to go get all the money in the world.
Right. That's understandable. Well, so that leads me into this next question. How did your upbringing influence your music artistry? And do you ever feel like you're still discovering new layers of yourself through your music?
My upbringing had the most to do with my artistry. Just watching, knowing who some of the people in the family was and what they did
Right.
with music is inspiring. And it's also one of the reasons. Like, wait, what was the last half of the question?
Are you still discovering new layers of yourself through your music? Let me repeat the question for you.
Yeah,
How
one
does your
hundred.
upbringing influence your artistry? And do you feel like you're still discovering new layers of yourself through your music?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, just to answer the back half of the question, like yeah, for sure. Like I used to be this shy person. I barely spoke. Uh, People would barely see me laughing around them and stuff like that. And like my mom used to always tell me, she like, "How you gonna rap and you shy? Like you don't even give people the chance to see what you can do, or like you don't even give people the chance to see your personality."
Right.
So now I talk more. I start conversations with people I don't know. Like in good faith. Uh, you know, um, it's been helping me become a better people person. And like one of my cousins, like when I was doing music back in the day, like he told me I came off as arrogant. And then I was like, damn, like, nah, man, just I'm out here nervous as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to expect. And so what I started doing was I started prepping myself for these moments. You know, being in the mirror, practicing my moves or like how I'm gonna be on stage. Like all of this stuff, like the things that prepare you for greatness.
Right.
So that's definitely how I uncovered like new layers of what I'm saying, of myself. And like the people who've known me all my life, they can see that now as well.
Okay. Okay. So it's kind of funny how you answering these questions because it's leading like right off into my next question for you. So the next question to you is this. If you had to strip your music down to just one essential element, whether it be lyrics, melody, or rhythm, what will remain and why?
Uh, Lyrics, melody, rhythm. Uh,
If you had to strip it down to just one, you can only choose one, whether it be lyrics, melody, or rhythm, what would remain and why?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Initially, I would have said rhythm, but thinking a little more, lyrics for sure. Because hold on, I'm a little sick, man. Wiping my nose.
Okay, take your
Uh,
time.
yeah, lyrics. Lyrics. Sometimes lyrics can move people, and when I choose to dig deep and really speak about like my life and some of the things that I've experienced or experiencing,
Right,
like that can be powerful. Like no beat can help that.
right,
So you can convey a message through lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody can hear my story through my lyrics, and it can change their outlook on something.
right.
So I would go with lyrics for sure.
Absolutely. I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. I would, if I was asked that question, I would definitely have to say it would be lyrics for you for sure. Um,
So
now, do you think people have to struggle in some way to create great art?
no, not necessarily, but
Well, let me say this. Let me say
some of the
this.
best artists I know are
Uh
some
huh.
of the people who dealt with the most.
Okay.
Some of the best artists that I know for sure is some of the people like who's dealt with a lot of heartache, hardships for sure.
Okay.
And it's just funny. It just seems like those people who deal with a lot, they choose to talk about that type of stuff
Absolutely.
in their
Yeah,
artistry.
it's a struggle.
Yeah, for sure. But see, like even me, like everything wasn't always peachy with me, peaches and cream with me and my family. But I just felt like I'm saving those records for a bigger audience in
Okay.
a sense, or like I want to center like a entire project around like some of the things that I've been through, and I just like it's damn near done, but I just don't want to let it go too early. I want kind of like my fans, the people who rock it with me, to grow with me and to grow into that stage of my career with me. So
Right. Right.
that's kind of why I'm saving those records right now.
So let me. So at this time, tell everybody how they can get in contact with you. Um, to be a part of the concert series that you're throwing, or possibly even do some music with you, or record with you, or anything of that nature. At this time, share with everybody how they can reach you and how you can be found.
Man, you can follow me on Instagram at Heffbanks, HEFFBANKS. That's why I'm like the most active at on Instagram. So shoot a DM, a follow on Instagram. I respond to everybody. No DM goes unread. So yeah, DM me on Instagram, or you can email me. Um, the swim team ent@gmail.com. That's my email. Just shoot me an email. I will respond to those as well. Check those daily. So Instagram at Heffbanks, or all socials at Heffbanks really, and Gmail, the swim team ent@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you kind of under the weather a little bit. And I ain't gonna keep you too long. I do appreciate you taking the time out to be a part of the show today. And I do know a Super Bowl Sunday. As you can see, I got the throwback on. I don't have a dog in the fight today, so I figured I just rock the throwback today. You know, but um,
Right. Feel
I
it.
won't keep you too long. But I just got one more question I want to ask you, and then I'm gonna let you wrap and get ready for the Super Bowl and all those things. Okay. Okay. My next question
Okay.
to you is this: How do you feel people? How do you feel when people don't get your music? Does it make you want to explain it, or you gonna let them interpret it the way they want to interpret it?
So lately, like I said, I've been making music, like fun music. Music to make you move, or music that can be played in any setting. So like I believe the reason why I'm having this success I'm having as of late is because my music has just been relatable.
Okay.
Like I said, it just make you move, want to have a good time. So I'm not really like um hell bent on that. Like if you don't get it, it's like you don't get it. But if you do, like I'm glad you do as well. So like I said, I really don't focus on like too much negative stuff. And I don't even think someone not getting my music is negative. It's just that they probably haven't heard something that they like from me yet. And that's another way that I make music. I make music for everybody. So I truly feel like you know what? Before I even say that, my streams reflect that I make music for everybody. Like
Okay.
every time I drop an EP, or as of from going back from last year, a lot of my songs, they all are even around the streams.
Okay.
And like a lot of people tell me like, wait, I like Back Outside. What I'm saying? A lot of people tell me that they like um Told Them, or a lot of people say like Verified. So it's just all about what you connect with.
Right.
And like I said, the way I approach music, if I drop a 5-song EP, you might not like all five, but you're gonna love one out of the five for sure.
Okay. Okay.
So
That'll
I'm
get
not
what
really
I'm
worried
looking
about
at.
my music not resonating, not connecting.
Okay. All right, everyone. There you have it. Um, Once again, let's give a warm welcome for our guest for the day. His name is Heff Banks. He dropped all his social information. That way you guys can
Yes,
get
sir.
in contact with him. So once again, let's give him a warm round of applause. Thanks. I want to say thank you,
Right.
man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you stopping by today. And you're always welcome on this platform. So if you ever have anything you need to talk about, anything you want to say,
For
all you
sure.
gotta do is hit me up and we're gonna make it happen, okay?
So you know what? I would love to do this live. You know, we had a little brief conversation about that,
Right,
but
right.
man, we got to get us one in live.
Yeah,
You can
let's do it.
see,
Let's
in real
we're gonna
time.
make that happen for sure.
So
You got my word on that. We
for
definitely gonna
sure,
make that happen. Okay. Well,
for
there you
sure.
have it, everyone. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I want to send some love to the chat. Everybody that was in the chat today. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Um,
Shout out to the
Once again, I want to say thank you. You all make this possible. You all help the show grow. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Peace.
peace.